just want to show you this lake that's just slightly down the trail from where we camped. I'm Danny, aka Topless. I'm hiking the Pacific Crest Trail from Mexico to Canada. I am 2,270 miles in, which means I have less than 400 miles to Canada. And it has been very cold in Washington these last 2 days. It is the last day of August, and I'm basically wearing like everything I own. I've got 3 pairs of pants on, a base layer, my zip-off pants, and my rain pants. I've got 3 shirts on. This is my puffy. I have my rain jacket in my tent, and I'm going to go put it on. I'm wearing both my buffs. I've got gloves here that I can't wait to put back on as soon as I put this phone down. And I've got 1 pair of socks on, but I'm gonna go put another pair on. It's cold. And I'm wondering if all this gear is going to be enough for September. It seems like I'm going to be hiking about 3 weeks in September, and I'm not sure how much colder it's going to get, but holy cow, if it stays this cold, or rather if it gets colder, I'm definitely going to have to find, I don't know, a better base layer. I have no idea. I basically slept in half my clothes last night in my sleeping bag. And about halfway through the night, I was able to take off a couple layers. And I have to say, my sleeping bag is awesome. It is a Western Mountaineering. I forget what it's rated at as far as cold, but it's the green one. And I absolutely think it's one of my best purchases. When somebody asked me what's your favorite piece of equipment, I actually said my sleeping bag. I love my sleeping bag. I've never had a down sleeping bag before, and it is worth every penny. On the split side, my tent, I'm worried about. I keep finding these little square holes in my tent, and they keep showing up in pairs. And I'm not sure if I'm just noticing them now, or if they've always been there, or if something is happening that's creating them, but they're too lined up. And I'm wondering if I got a defective tent. Not a defective tent, but maybe a tent with defective material, if that makes sense. I think I'm gonna take some photos and make a video or something and send it to Z-Packs and ask them, hey, what's up? Because I paid $600 for that tent, and it took them 6 weeks to make it. So there was a lot of, how am I gonna get the tent when I'm on a trail? And I'm finding all these holes. And thankfully it hasn't like poured on me or anything like that yet, like as far as rain goes, but I'm expecting it to here in Washington. So if I have a tent that's just full of holes that leak, I'm worried. So we're supposed to get to a town today. I'm gonna look real hard for some kind of something. I ran out of the type of repair tape that you would use on tents, just because I've been using it on the tent and on other things, and I've also been sharing with people who need it. So I'm actually out. So when I get to town today, or tonight or tomorrow, that's one of the things that I'm going to look for is repair tape for tents, and I'm just going to do a once over on my whole tent. So far I think I see 6 holes, and I've already patched another 3. So that's 9 holes in my tent. That doesn't make any sense. So yeah. Anyways, sorry, that's a tangent, but it's very, very important when you're cold in Washington in September and it might start raining. So today we've got 25 miles to do to get to the next town. And the whole group, I know they're excited about it because they're cold too. And we're talking about renting a room together and having a nice warm night tonight. This valley down here is pretty beautiful. So is the top of this, with this rock that's got the mist just blowing right past it. That's that same rock. Got some hikers down here for scale. We're gonna pass right through that, right there. Look at all this. I'm gonna pause the camera so you can see how fast these clouds are moving. And then off here in the distance, there's a valley. It's pretty beautiful. Here's that valley again from a higher vantage point. And again, here's a couple hikers just for scale. Sispus Pass, elevation 6,473. Here's that valley one more time. And there's the trail that got us here. But I'm standing on a pass, so if I go to the other side, I can see through these trees here. I've been slowly taking off layers, maybe a half mile at a time. But as soon as I made it across that pass, I'm now in the shade. And it's windy, and I'm not taking off any more layers. Here's the trail ahead and the view ahead, and now without those trees in the way, here's this view. I just turned a corner, and again for scale, here's a couple hikers. Here's a rock hop, little crossing, but holy cow, a gorgeous waterfall right here. Here is an excellent shot of Mount Adams. I just ran into Macgyver, who is the woman that I did a morning walk with back at Walker Pass. We walked to the monument, we kind of chatted and chilled. So just good to run into her again. She's serial section hiking. So she's been doing a little bit at a time, and she said that the fires in California have shut a lot down. So she decided, oh, and Oregon's real smoky, so she decided to skip Oregon, do Washington before it snows, and then she's gonna see where she's gonna go from there. I'll link to the video from Walker Pass. The landscape just drastically changed. All loose rock. Still got this mountain back here though. Yep, it is pretty cold. I didn't realize I'd be in snow though, so these shoes are kind of slippery. So I'm not going to video while walking. The snow led to this ridge, and it looks a lot like a pass. It's beautiful over here. It's pretty, I don't know, 60 degrees down. I'm thinking we're going to go over another pass though, because there's a cairn right there. I thought I heard a voice in this direction, so I think we're going up there. That's where I heard the voice from. The top of this. Can you see those people up there? Wow. Turns out there are two paths. There's a PCT path that goes around this mountain right here, and then there's the path that just goes straight up to where those people were screaming a second ago. So I picked up. just in case the clouds come back out, that's where I'm going. There's Mount Adams. Down there, that little person, I think that's Macgyver behind me. And in this direction, there's another mountain which the clouds are just about to cover again. I'll see if I can get another video of everything clear. All right, I'm pretty sure the PCT goes this way. Let me just check this sign real quick. Huh. Yep. So PCT goes that way. Let's get up to the top here. Here's the pass. Holy cow. I'm still not all the way at the top yet. That's gonna be up there. This path here leads there. There's Mount Adams in the background. Got some people rolling up. Yeah, so now I'm gonna go check out the top. All right, let's do it. I think I'm gonna put some gloves on. Fun fact, I've probably got, I don't know, 2 mouthfuls of water left in my water bottles, but I'm not gonna miss this chance. This is the lower of the 2 outlooks, I think. Wow. There's that second mountain again. There's Mount Adams. Pretty sure I can get up there. All right, there's Mount Adams again. Here's everything on this side. There's some snow down here. It's just incredible. Not sure if you can see the people down there, but that's where I started, that intersection. There's the other mountain coming all the way around. Now I want to show you what I'm standing on. It's literally just a pile of rock. All of it is a just big pile of rock. Wow. So do me a favor, if anybody asks how Danny's doing, tell him I'm doing pretty good. The phrase I've got on my pack and the phrase that I screamed at the top of Mount Whitney is Danny lives. And that's what I'm doing. Living life. I highly recommend you join me sometime. All right, now I'm back to that nice frozen sign and we can hit the PCT again. My next water is 2 miles away, so I only took 1 gulp of my 2 remaining. Sweet. This direction leads to a ridge walk. Again, I'm just marveling that it's just a pile of rocks. Like, here's the thinnest spot I can find. Let's look down this way. Okay, this piece of rock right here kind of shows you how the whole place forms. It's all one piece of rock. It all cracks into these plates. The plates start to fall apart, and before long they're just everywhere. Well, before long being who knows how many years. But yeah, it's just a pile. It turns into a pile of rocks. Wow, look at this ridge walk that's coming up. That's awesome. Here we go. The trail just rejoined the PCT. So this is where I would have gone. And cool, the ridge walk, it was actually part of the PCT to begin with. That's awesome. Oh, slightly higher point. So incredible. There's a lake down there. Just a look back. Here's the ridge I've already done. The trail actually goes off to the left, and there's a ridge walk down there, it looks like. But I feel like it'd be silly not to just go up to the top of this hill, so let's go. As soon as I got to the top, there was another top. So let's go over here. So there's the ridge I'm gonna walk. That lake. I know way off in that direction somewhere is that second mountain, but it's behind the clouds. Top of that. I hope you can hear anything that I'm saying with this wind blowing. See what we got here. Coyote Trail hikers. Pacific Crest Trail. Okay. Looks like I'm doing that ridge walk. Alright, that's the end of the ridge walk. All the way down to here. Now, back on solid ground, which is great because that means there's water up there. I'm practically out. Actually, no. Let me rephrase that. I am absolutely out of water now. Also, that was a very long stretch to not have anywhere to use a restroom. So if you ever do this, make sure you use the restroom before you hit all of that. Great. So it looks like we just got 0.3 miles to water. So that's, what, 5 minutes? That's great. I have to say, that section was probably one of my most, like, the highlights of my trip. Like, I went to the top of Mount Whitney, and Mount Whitney was amazing, but it was mostly just a grind to the top without the scenery changing very much until you got there. That was awesome. Like, the ridge kept swapping back and forth on different sides of mountain, yeah, of just different direction mountains, so the view kept changing. It was awesome. That was really one of the highlights of my trip right there. All this cold weather is making me consider bringing a stove for no other reason than to make hot toddies, which are whiskey, either hot water or hot tea, and some lemon. Oh, I could totally go for a hot toddy right now. This is cool. You can see these streams right here. There's a bunch of them. But you can look straight up and see that it is, in fact, the snow melt creating the streams. So I'm about to drink that snow, basically. Well, I'm going to filter it first. Yep, all these little pieces just join together. So this is a cute trick. They stuck their trekking pole in the ground right here at an intersection that runs off into the woods here. And so there's a whole group of people eating lunch in there. And the idea is one of them puts the trekking pole in here to say, hey guys, I'm pulling over, and people can all pull over as well. Our group has done that a couple times too. I think the only trick there is you have to be able to recognize the trekking pole. So I saw the trekking pole and I was like, oh, okay, maybe that's our group. And I ran in there and basically just had lunch with some people I haven't really met yet, which is great. It's great to meet new people. Actually, I ran to a couple of them at the top of that pass right before I started the whole alternate thing and climbed up the big whatever. Like, I met a few of them there. So that was kind of nice. But long story short, it's a neat idea. Also, in hanging out with that group, doing a water crossing, hold on. That was a nice and easy one. In hanging out with that group, turns out one of them had signal. Turns out the PCTA has closed down pretty much almost half of California because of the fires. So there was a southbound person there who was just like trying to figure out what the heck he was gonna do. And it sounds like him personally, he's gonna go hike some other trail in some other part of the country because he's carved out all this time to hike, and the Pacific Crest Trail is kind of like just blocked him off for good reason, right? I mean, fires are a good reason. If you want to see what it's like hiking through smoke and stuff, go see some of my videos from Northern California and Oregon. But yeah, it's kind of sad that there's so many fires this year. So the other thing I've noticed is that it's almost 3 o'clock and I've gone a total of 10 miles. And we were talking about going 25 today and getting into town. And I'm not sure how that's gonna happen. Because I've got 15 miles left to go and no signal. Like, I checked that. So I have no idea how fast or how far the group's gone. I don't know if they got slowed down by the whole ridge walk slash alternate route slash let's go summit this little thing. So we'll find out what happens there. But I may have lost the group. But who knows? Maybe there's another spot to hitch into town. Yeah, we'll see what happens. But short version is, since I walked out this morning and all of them passed me in, I don't know, in an hour, I haven't seen anybody. So I just spoke to that group that I had lunch with, and they said they saw a couple of them, but it was a long time ago. It was this morning when they passed. So, yep, might be camping on trail tonight and not camping in a hotel room. I'm nearly to the top of the last pass for today. It's 6:20. I've got 6 miles to go to get to the parking lot that we would be hitching into town at. And I'm thinking the group didn't do the big alternate trail that I did in the climb. Because everybody I've run into who kind of knows them makes it sound like they went from being, well, I've been running. They started off being 2 hours ahead of me. And the last person I talked to, which was 20 minutes ago, said they saw them an hour ago. So I've been trying to catch up. I've been literally like alternating walking fast and sprinting down the trail, which is possible because I got next to no food in my pack and a half a liter of water. So, but unfortunately, 6 miles, it's 6:20. If I did 3 miles an hour, I still wouldn't get there till like 8:20. I'm not sure if I can catch a hitch to town at 8:20. I'm not sure if it's too dark or not. But we're gonna see what happens. When I get to the top of this pass, I'm gonna turn my airplane mode off and see if I can at least text someone in the group and let them know where I'm at, and I plan on hitching later. So send me the info to where we're going. But yeah, ultimately somehow I didn't get the memo about the plan today. I ran into Nemo when he was talking about, there's some alternates coming up and I can't remember if we were taking an alternate or not. And that was about it. So when I hit the alternate, I was like, oh cool, let's do it. And I found a second alternate back when I did that second half of the ridge walk. The second alternate dropped down and got to the highway in a different spot. I don't know if it was a longer or shorter trail, but I've been wondering if the group went that way. But I literally just ran into some people who said they saw the Breakfast Club on this trail an hour ago. So, worst case, I'll sleep in the woods. Well, I got signal at the top, and I left a message on where I was and what time it was, and that I would catch up with them. Let's see if that works out. Also, check out this new view. So, lake or something way over there. It's beautiful. This is the direction we're going, though. It's 7 o'clock, and I got 3.5 miles left to get to the parking lot. So, I just did 2 miles in a half an hour. So, in theory, I can do 3.5 in 1 hour. And it's all downhill, which is really awesome. We're gonna cross one last stream, and I'm just gonna dip my filter in and not even filter, just keep walking. So, yeah, exciting. This reminds me of running after Mount Whitney. Oh man, I got to the bottom of Mount Whitney. My phone was dead, I had no map, and I ran into a couple of hikers that I kind of spotted their faces. I was like, I think you're PCT hikers? And they're like, yeah. I said, my map is dead, my phone is dead, I got my backup batteries are dead. Can I just follow you back to the PCT? Because I didn't even know how to get back to it. And they're like, yeah. And I kid you not, the three of them turn and they start running. So I'm chasing after these three because I have no map and I have to. So the skills I developed that day, I'm using today. That was with Teva, River, and Cactus. It's also reminding me of the day that Musty and I ran, like really ran, down the last, 5 miles of trail to get into South Lake Tahoe. And again, the skills running after Musty on a downhill, sorry, not Musty, on a downhill is pretty much what I'm using today. So, good times. All right, it's 8 o'clock. I just hit that stream and I've got a mile left to the parking lot. So I really hope it doesn't get too much darker than this before I get there. I'm thinking maybe 15 minutes. I'm not sure if the camera's capturing this, but I just found trail magic. I'm looking in a bin that's stocked like a cooler and there's sodas in here. Well, it's 8:15. I'm at the road. It's dark. I've got this blinky red light. Let's hope it works. I also have a sign that says hiker on it, but not very many cars are going by. See what happens.